What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe and hype. Real quick one today. I always say that and then they go longer and longer, don't they? Anyway, so PlayStation, Sony, they decided to announce that they're going to stop making digital versions of their games. I'm sorry, I said that the wrong way. Physical. They're going to stop making physical versions of their games. So only digital. And first I was like, the trend, at first I was like, that's not a big deal because honestly, happened to the music industry, blah, blah, blah. Although, if you think about it, it happened to the music industry and then parts of those industries kind of collapsed and got destroyed, basically. Like physical media, as far as music, doesn't exist any. I mean, there are still vinyls, but it's a super niche thing right now. It's not mainstream. It's not widespread. So there's a couple of things that's wrong with that, and I hope Microsoft doesn't follow suit. They might, but I hope they don't do it like 100%. But I think they should probably stay with what they're doing. Problem is, besides the historical nature of trying to preserve video games, that's a given. Yes, okay, we're not going to talk about that. So everybody knows if you don't have physical copies of things, then you can't preserve them. It's digital, sure, it's digital. You can transfer that digital ISO onto something and call it a physical copy, but it takes work and it's not from the manufacturer and all these things, right? So in that, you take away a part of the market that exists in a lot of different industries. The collectors. Now, if they decide to start making collector's editions, which are physical, which are discs, they can charge more, which is what they want to do anyway, then that might be okay. Depends, of course, but it's not, according to the Donkey Unicorns and the Ponies, because the PlayStation Nation is having a fit right now. Everybody is having a fit. It's hilarious to see because it's happening right now in real time, and everybody's crying, and there's so many salty yum tears. The sky is dark. That's how many tears there are. It should be dark over there too. You can't see it because my camera is like real good. It brightens up the darkness. But so you have the collector side, you have the preservation side, right? And now here's the kicker. Here's the thing that people haven't said anything yet. Some people in the chat of the live of Sean's show, they did mention it, but I haven't heard anybody do a video on it yet. And that's this. Recently, Sony decided, because they didn't feel like paying the license of whatever, I forgot what the actual company was, Castle Rock or something, licensing for 500 movies and TV shows on their PlayStation store that they sold to their customers. They didn't want to re-up the lease of that, the licensing agreement, and so they're deleting bought items. Listen to me. They're deleting. Now, we already did a video on this, right? So imagine you got your video game collection at home, physical copies, right? You're like, yeah, boy, I got my physical copies, boop, boop, boop. And then Sony comes, knocks on your door, hey, those licenses ran out. You can't have those games. We're going to snatch them and they take all your games. That's basically what they did, except the digital version of that. And y'all just going to let them get away with it. Y'all just love it. Just bend over. No Vaseline. So, they took the movies away. No repercussions, no consequence, no repercussions, right? So, since PlayStation is becoming all digital forever, evermore, who's to say they won't do the same thing of your games? Now, you're saying, no, they own the games. They don't own Spider-Man. They don't own all the cars in Gran Turismo. So any one of those games, they have to pay a license to the owners of the IPs. They got to pay Marvel, Disney, and they have to pay the different car manufacturers. Say if they feel like, nah, you know what, we want to save some more money, we're not going to pay. It's an old game, we're not going to pay it. And you got a digital version of that game in your library, guess what? Guess what happens to that game? Zip zoop, it's gone. Just like those movies that you bought. You bought a game, you thought it was yours, it's not yours anymore. See? That's, nope. At least Xbox, what Xbox does, right? Okay, so they did come across this with Forza, I think it was Forza Horizon 3 and 4, I think. So you can't buy those games anymore, but they don't go into your hard drive and delete the game. It's just like, you bought the game, it's your game, you got the license, you bought the license, you can play as long as you want, but we can't sell it anymore. And I'm like, all right, that's cool, that makes sense. And so I don't understand how Sony gets away with going into your freaking, I mean, it's in the EULA. It has to be in the EULA, because if it wasn't in the EULA, they wouldn't get away with it. It'd be a lawsuit and they would lose. So I would encourage anyone to not buy a PlayStation. Don't go into that ecosystem, because they keep doing this. And also, they're closing down some stores. They're doing everything antithetical to being market leader. Or they're doing everything of being a market leader and not caring about their customers, basically, is what's happening. And I'm like, yo, how? Okay. And now flip it. If this was Xbox, what would the news be? Oh my gosh, doom and gloom. Xbox is dead. So let's flip it back. Oh my gosh, doom and gloom. PlayStation is dead. No PlayStation 6. We're gonna run it up on these bumps. You know how King does it. No PlayStation 6. They buried in the dirt right next to ET. That's mine. Nah, that's what I did. That's nice. Now that's mine. We're not running it up on no. You go in the back of the garbage truck and we go beep beep bloop and we bury you. Okay, that's not as good as we're gonna run it up. Okay, I'm working on it. We gotta workshop it. Come on now. So yeah, PlayStation is looking worse and worse man. There's this one kid I saw. I met him yesterday, and he got a little job. He's a teenager, and he's like, yeah, I'm saving up for PlayStation. And I was talking to my friend, and he bought a PlayStation Pro when it was $650 or $700. And I was like, yeah, you know, a PlayStation Pro is $900 now. He's like, what? $900? What? He's like, did you know the place is like, yeah, no, it's $900. it's okay, like it's nothing. Like, yo, man, yeah. I mean, they are training some people, but this is not sustainable. It's not. I mean, Sean Layden knew it wasn't sustainable, and he's still out here talking shite, like he knows what's up. It's a shame. I wish Sean Layden was still in charge of PlayStation. Nah, maybe not. I don't. If he was, the games would be like $250 right now. It's like, well, I did the math, and according to the cost of living and inflation, but I'm like, shut up. That's not what this is. And anyway, we're not talking about that. But like, look, this no physical games for PlayStation is the biggest rake step of all big rake steps. It's almost like, yo, get a second job. Or Ridge Racer, giant enemy crabs, $6.90, $5.99 for PlayStation 3. Or don't you guys have phones? So, what else can we say? Oh, we got another console. It's called the 360. All the bad, stupid things that people have said along the years. This is another one of them. I mean, it was a post. It wasn't like a person saying it. But still, I want to see what I want to see what Blessing Ananone Jr. has to say. Adio yay. I want to see what he got to say. Blessings of a curse. I want to hear what he got to say. Because he be saying some stupid shit. He gets it from his papa, Greg. I'm just saying. That's what it looked like. Maybe he's the adopted child or something. I don't know. You know how they do. You know how white people like to adopt black. Angelina Jolie. That's all I'm saying. And he has I guess he's from Africa. I don't know. Sure. What is with that? I don't understand. I mean, I guess, just trying to help people. But, I mean, why? There's plenty of people here you can adopt. Like, if I was going to adopt somebody, I know this is a tangent. If I was gonna adopt somebody, I'd be like, yo, let's go, around and, you go and see what the situations are of our local children's, and, help people here, help us out. I don't know. I guess, when you're a star, you get the exotic child to be like super opposite. So, it's like, oh, they're really trying. They really mean it. Anyway, sorry, it's just one of those tangents that have a different color. Not video game color, not green or blue or red. Anyway, so the fanboys are freaking out like crazy. And as far as I mean, look, Sony has not been one to listen to their fans. I mean, they did when they were going to close the PlayStation 3 store and the Vita store. They're doing it now. But this was years ago. They were like, oh, PlayStation, we're going to close it. And everybody's like, no, don't close it. We hate you, blah, blah, blah. And they said, okay, we won't close it. They just postponed it. And now they're closing it. But they paired it with the whole not making physical copies anymore. So that's worse. That's more egregious. So they're like, yeah, we give them a boom, and then we do a little thing on the side. They ain't going to care about that closing the store. Like, we don't care about the closed stores. We want a physical copy. They get what they want. Anyway. So that's how they do it. It's psychology. It's psychology, man, And I don't say they're good at it. They've had a lot of lucky breaks at the expense of other companies' mishaps. And I guess that's savvy, but at the end of the day, the whole of the movement of any one company is in question. Now, a lot of people don't pay attention to those things. A lot of people don't look into what a company does, what they say, what they do, blah blah blah. And like yesterday, we talked about the live service initiative still going on at PlayStation, even though they have been the most failing company of live service in the history of gaming. I guess, if we gotta add Concord, we gotta add all these. I mean, Marathon's about to die. Fair Games, $, Break-In, whatever it's called, is about to fail. It hasn't even come out yet. It's gonna fail. So, we're looking at it. It's happening, and they're still trying to do it. And it's like the games that they should have put out that would have been successful, they canceled because of Bungie. Anyway, sorry, we're not gonna retread that because it's like at this point it's obvious, and I don't know if they're gonna go back. Maybe they'll go back and say, yo, Insomniac, bring that back again, or they make a little team and bring that back, let's go. I don't know, that would be smart. The game is there. I mean, the beginnings of it anyway. I guess they got it working. We saw the videos, but whatever. That's on them. They're doing their thug dizzle, and then Asha is doing her thug dizzle, and people like accuse me of not talking about like the bad Xbox news, and like I said, gotta wait for the official news. I'm not gonna sit here and speculate and speculize and then be like, oh yeah, it was all for naught. I'd rather talk about stuff that actually happened, like Sony literally putting out a press a statement saying, yeah, we're gonna stop the physical stuff, and just based off of their literally happened a couple of days ago behavior of them deleting owned stuff from their customers, it's gonna happen with games. I'm just saying, just wait. It's gonna happen. Be like, yeah, we're gonna delete these games. Like, wait, what? I paid for it though. You gonna give me some money? Nope. Thanks for buying with PlayStation. That's what they do, man. I would never. I was already against them, but this is just, it's inexcusable. How can you honestly say, yo, I like this company because of how they treat their customers and blah blah? No, just say that you like their games. That's a preference. That's subjective. Sure. Some would say, oh, it's subjective. They make the best game. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. Okay. I like the variety over at Xbox. They have better shooters. They have better racers. They have what else? They have better third-person shooters. Gears of War is still the king. I don't care. You put Gears of War up against any of the third-person shooters over on PlayStation. Gears of War wins, period. It's better than Helldivers. If y'all can believe that, it is. And then Gears ED is going to be hot. But, yeah. You know, that's, like the reaction from the Ponies, Donkey Unicorns, the PlayStation Nation it's not surprising. It's surprising in the sense that, oh, it actually happened this time. They did something, and it upset the majority, if not all, of the PlayStation fanboys. Instead of them ignoring it and saying, whatever, it doesn't. No, they said, no. They got all mad, stopped clopping down the street, clop, 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 clop. That wasn't a donkey. I don't know what that was. Yeah, so it's like, yo, it seems like the tax code's changing or something, right? Tax code changing. Got that PlayStation tax coming up. Yeah, just saying, you know. That PlayStation tax. I mean, they already got a tax up against their live service, so any live service game they release, PlayStation tax automatic. Everybody's like, yeah, it's probably gonna be bad. It's probably gonna be a Concord 9 or whatever it is. Just add the number. So what? Okay, Concord is the first, and then it wasn't even their game. What was it called? The game with the horses. That one. Fair Games is gonna be 3. Marathon 4. I don't know what the Heretic Prophet is gonna be. Intergalactic. Are they gonna have a multiplayer something in that game? That'd be interesting. Yeah, but I mean, as far as Nishino goes, he's like, yeah, man, everything's got multiplayer. I think, honestly, I think Xbox trying to go back to the roots, trying to be renegades again, put multiplayer components in the game, not just like slap it in like they did with like the Darkness. Put it in like how Halo had it. Halo had a campaign, then they had their multiplayer. It was separate things, but it was a package. You bought the one game, you got the both things, and people were like, yo, I'm playing multiplayer. Yo, I'm playing the campaign, then I go and play some multiplayer. Blah, blah. Same with Gears. Gears was the same thing. Gears had the campaign, then they had the multiplayer, then they went and expanded it. They said, yo, put Horde mode in there, plus with the multi. Do that again. It doesn't have to be a live service freaking... I mean, that is the live service of it, the multiplayer portion. But go back to, like, don't think of it as like a Fortnite or a Battle Royale or a, extraction shooter or something like that. Think of it as just a simple King of the Hill. Those simple modes are what people like to play. They want to go in and out. Boom. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, boom, boom, 20 minutes. That's it. I do one round with the boys, then I got to go do family stuff or whatever, People are busy. You're talking about you need people, you need to get the time from people because people don't have time. You need to make those play sessions shorter and manageable so you can sneak in, yo, I got a half an hour. I can sneak in a round real quick. Boosh. Go in there. Yo, I got an hour. Let's go. I can do it. Boosh. That's what you do. You don't make it like I'm gonna sit here for I mean, I know some games you want to just play. Oh, okay, one more round and stuff like that. But honestly, to be honest, they kind of are set up that way. But like Destiny, I don't think Destiny was set up that way. I remember I played the demo. I think it was the demo of Destiny. I think it was the first one. Yeah, had to be. And I was playing it, and then somebody joined, and we got to one of the boss. I don't know what they're called, and we were fighting, and we kept dying. It was just two of us, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I quit out there. I couldn't do it. We kept dying. We kept going back and trying. I was like, nope. And I mean, that's the challenge, and maybe I was sucking a little bit more than usual, but still, it's not about that. It's about the actual how you can, like, if it was just like a simple PvP type of thing, or as King of the Hill, or is there any assortment of those type of multiplayer types, you go in there, you're in there for 10 minutes, doing a round. You could do one round, boom, knock it out. Like, all right, I got my fill. That was cool. All right, cool. Or do another round, whatever, Just they need to go back to how it started and think about those things as far as like how people play, how they want to play. If it's a quick boom boom, if you get in quick, boom boom boom, that's the best way, because then people start, okay, I'm gonna play a quick round of this, and then I'm gonna play a quick round of ball pit or something. Even though that's what is that, like it's like 15 to 20 minutes each round. I think you can get like power-ups to walk faster or something. I don't know, I can't remember. I haven't played that in a while. But, and then you have giant games like Crimson Desert, where it's like, I mean, you could go in there and play for 10 minutes and like, I didn't do anything, but I played for 10 minutes, you know, because that's a super big, giant, enormous game. So, you know, stuff like, you know, it's, yeah, but that's not a live service game. That's not a game, it's a service game. So that's, I mean, like, I have no confidence in Sony ever doing a game good like that. The one game that was successful that they published, they didn't make. So, like I said, I have zero confidence in their ability to make a game like that. And they have failed time and time again. They even bought companies to try to do that, still failed. And they're failing right now with Bungie. Which is, I mean, it's both their faults. But it's Bungie's fault for being Bungie, and it's Sony's fault for not oversight. There wasn't enough oversight. There was never enough oversight for Bungie. And I think Bungie's that was that type of studio that didn't react to oversight or worked better without oversight. But in doing that, over budget, over, you know, just it takes too long, blah blah blah. They weren't efficient, you know, and that's, I mean, that's kind of how it works. Because if you're an artistic brain and you're like, oh no, you're doing something, and then you're like, wait, I have a better idea, and then you just scrap 6 months of work or something like that. Like, I mean, that's kind of messed up. But you got to have a strong vision to begin with. I mean, look, making games is hard, and especially when you're the creative type and you're an artist, and you tend to change your mind mid creation sometimes. And I think game creators need to get out of that. They need to either do more pre-production to whittle down any lackings in what's going on in the production, and not as much as like as far as time pipelines and stuff, but just the concept, you know, have it like boom. It's like when you're making a movie. I mean, that's kind of a hard I was gonna compare it to making a movie, but that's not a good comparison, because making movies are infinitely easier than making video games, and they're quicker, and you can do a run and gun shoot and get the shots and be like, that's cool or whatever, and then you can do pickup shots after you've like wrapped, and there's all kinds of things that you can do in movies that are just faster. And that's the whole thing about Asha, is she's like, it needs to be faster. So how do you do that? First, I think, I know this is a tangent, but it's relevant to games. Faster means that I think most games going forward will rely on ray tracing as the lighting. One, because I don't want to say it's more accurate, but it's easier to produce a convincing result with ray tracing than it is to sit there with a lighting artist, and say, let me replicate what ray tracing should look like. Light is here, it'll go here, then it'll bounce here, so I gotta put another light that bounces. You know, it's the lighting design. Sure, it's done in movies, but this is a video game. You can press a button, ray tracing, boom, you're done. You don't have to recompile. Oh, I put a crate in the corner. Thanks. Now we got to recompile the whole thing 8 hours. That was the whole Bungie's issue, because they weren't using ray tracing, and they had, every time they changed anything in the level, geometry-wise or anything, they had to rebake the level, because they had to bake the lights, because the lights aren't ray traced. So it's not working right away. It's not just, anything that you change with ray tracing, it changes the lighting. But if you have to bake the lights, the lights are baked. And if y'all don't know what that means, it means that they have to render the lights as they are. So if you change anything, that won't react to what the lighting is. So if you render a scene, right, it's like bam, it's say if you render say if you render a complicated diner scene, right, it's like bam, it's the diner scene and there's no people in it, and then you say, oh, I want to add some people. and you don't re-render the scene with the people in it, the people won't have the correct light. They won't have any lighting on them unless you replicate the rendered lighting. But then it's, I don't even know what that would be. It would just make more sense for you to add them and then re-render the scene. You know what I'm saying? So if you do a render, then you add it post after the render without re-rendering the characters in the scene, then the lighting will be, I don't know how that will work. You would probably have to have different lights. Once again, I don't know how that will work. But yeah, so that's oh, you know what, I take that back. I think when you have animated things like that, you might have to have separate lighting for those characters, like the hero lighting that they have in Horizon Forbidden West, similar to that. So if you don't know what that is, the hero lighting in Horizon Forbidden West is basically, if you can picture the model sitting there, right? Or like, say I'm Aloy, don't I look like just like her? And so there's a light, a key light, which is the main light, boom, which would be this way because the sun, boom, right? And then there's a backlight here, and you see the light. And these are all kind of, invisible objects, obviously, because we don't see the actual lights, but this is a light source that they place around the character to light the character within the scene. Now, there are other lights within the scene that would react to Aloy, so I guess they're placed in the scene as well, separate from the level stuff. But yeah, and it's really apparent, like, and they call it hero lighting because it's not realistic. It doesn't make sense, especially when she's outside and you have like a hit. I'm like, how you got three? You're in the sunlight. How do you have three light sources? It doesn't make sense. If you look at it, you're like, it looks good, but that's stylistically it looks good. Doesn't make sense. So I would like to see that game in ray tracing, like without the hero lights, because whatever. But anyway, I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm just saying that's what it. That was a long nothing burger. Thank you. Thank you for sitting there listening to my dumb ass. Listen to my dumb ass. So yeah, but yeah, no physical dicks. No physical discs. That's a Rand joke. He said that one time and it was hilarious. So yeah, no physical discs anymore. Yeah, PlayStation has stepped on the biggest rake, the biggest blue rake in the history of PlayStation. Oh well, we'll see how that works out for them. But anyway, I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comment below. Let me know what you think about the super giant rake imprint on Sony's forehead right now, because they done did it. They done stepped on the rake and it ain't fake. For goodness sake. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. I want to continue to monitor the fallout and the crash outs of all the Ponies and Donkey Unicorns. It is hilarious, I must say, guaranteed. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Y'all don't know, but I'm still working on the stomp, still working on music. Just be patient. I'm gonna stop mentioning it because I'm doing the visual part of it right now, so that's gonna take some time too. But anyway, I appreciate. I'll talk to you on the next one. Till to wait.